everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Megaman Xtreme 2. In the last part we beat some more of the Mavericks, and now we're heading after Tunnel Rhino from Megaman X3. I hate this stage, I hate this stage, I hate this stage. My least favorite stage in the game? If it's not, it's a close second. Now this is a zero stage, however, I'm going to be challenging quite a bit of it with X, for one reason and one reason only. His armor upgrade. Because these rocks here, they'll roll towards you, and they do a lot of damage to Zero. There's also the fact that X takes them out quicker due to his upgraded attack. Because getting up close to fight boulders isn't the best idea, let me tell you that much. Especially when they're over bottomless pits. Yet again, we got another original stage design here, thankfully. If we had to play the original Tunnel Rhino stage, I would just quit here because I hate Tunnel Rhino stage. Then again, X3 is... still not as bad as X7, though. Ugh. Anyway, coming up here is one of the only times I'm actually going to be playing as Zero in this stage, and that's because this is where I get the two items. First off, walk off that edge and don't go too far to the right, I'll go into why later. And then dash, jump, and hold the jump button so you can get over to this heart tank. And as for the Zero capsule, it's a bit tricky to find. Don't jump on that. As you might notice, the floor in two specific regions here is different. Like right here. Jumping on it with the right armor will break it, and it's down here that you need to come for the, light capsule. It's also where I have to use the lightning ability. As far as I'm aware, that's the only thing that can break this specific block. Enter this capsule. Take this Zero Final. This is the most powerful weapon, and it will destroy almost any enemy. Bull crap. I've actually never used this against enemies, but from what I've seen, it barely does anything against them if they have large health bars. Maybe if you have Z-Saber pluses, but for me it's pretty useless. Though it is semi-useful against boss fights. I think it's almost the exact same Zero Final that was in the original game. But I wouldn't remember because I didn't really use that now, did I? Also, you gotta love how our awesome mech armor can take out everyone else's in one shot, but it takes theirs multiples. Ah, main character immunity. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it's here I'm actually going to switch back to X because this section is very similar to that one section in Volt Catfish's stage, where there is environmental hazards. Except here, well, we got lava. Oddly enough, though, this lava isn't instant kill to either character. It just damages them, and very little damage, too. Which is kind of weird compared to the water. Then again, from what I realized, after rendering that part with Volt Catfish's stage, the water is actually slightly glowing yellow, so it was electrified. That's why that water's an instant kill. This is not, somehow. And if I recall correctly, in Xtreme 1 and X2, wasn't the lava that rose up against you instant kill? It's been forever since I tried it, so I don't quite remember. Anyway, we're coming up on the boss now, so let's actually stay as X, because we're already X. Anyway, Tunnel Rhino is a very simple boss fight. He only has two attacks that I'm aware of, and one of them is to shoot two drills out at you. That one. And then he likes to charge left and right. I'm trying to remember what his weakness is. Let's see. His weakness is Blast Hornet. If you have Blast Hornet's weapon, use that against him. But overall, fairly simple stage, and the boss, as you just saw, was really, really easy. But for beating him, we get Drill Crush, which is very similar to the Ice Down attack that he has in X4, except you have to have it equipped in order to use it. Anyway, time for our next boss, Neon Tiger, also from X3. I really like this sprite of him for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, along with the Neon Tiger stage, we also get its music, which sounds still very similar to My Michelle by Guns N' Roses. Though, if I recall correctly, that wasn't intentional on Capcom's behalf. It was more often a coincidence, but that's just a story I see on certain sites. I'm not quite sure which one to believe. Since Mega Man's always had this kind of weird thing for remixing other songs, like Mega Man 1, the stage select song sounds exactly like the opening riff to Runaway by Bon Jovi, so... take it the way you can, I suppose. Anyway, Neon Tiger stage is entirely different than his X3 stage, thankfully. And we also get the ride armor here. Well, actually, you can get the ride armor in X3, it's just that I didn't have them by that point, and you never need to use them. Anyway, this tree section here is very simple. You just destroyed the branches. However, it's also here where the heart tank is, so you're gonna want to keep your eye out. Fly up here, and you got it. That is X's last heart tank. And now we got this section. Oh boy. The severed trunks obviously fall. However, everything beneath us is instant pit. Or instant pit? Instant death. It's not the beginning section that's hard, it's when you get to these platforms here. For one reason and one reason only. The hitbox dissonance that this game kind of suffers from still. Don't get me wrong, it's still a better program than the original Mega Man Xtreme, but there are times when you're on the platform and then you fall right through it. Well, when you're clinging onto it, onto its side at least. Anyway, we need to get this turret out of the way, because there's the Dr. Light capsule, and to get it, we actually have to use Flame Mammoth's weapon. I think if you got Flame Mammoth's weapon with 0, you can still break that, though. Anyway, let's see what we got. Enter this capsule. Take this head upgrade. The head upgrade will give you the ability of the head crush, and allow you to crush certain blocks. It's because X's helmet's the exact same as Zero's that a lot of people seem to think that you can't get X's Buster parts until after you get this, but you can if you do what I did. Also, one thing you may notice is that my powers are de-equipped for some reason. My speed shot in Buster Plus 2 are unequipped when you, more accurately, when you get all 4 armor pieces with X, any body parts you had on him, be it the Buster Plus 2, Buster Plus 1, etc., are unequipped, and I don't get that. Though I must say, I actually really like this design of X's. It's based off the X2 armor, I believe, though I see a bit of X3 in there for some reason. Anyway, oh well. Anyway, this section here reminds me a lot of Sting Chameleon. In fact, I think it's almost ripped right out of it. A few added spikes and bottomless pits aside. Anyway, time for Neon Tiger. For future reference, he is weak against Tunnel Rhino's weapon. He is much slower than his X3 counterpart, quite obviously. And his only attacks are to do that little charge attack that he does right there, and to fire stuff out of his tail like he did in the original boss fight. Also, I have to wonder, what's with that tree in the background? It's glowing. Whoa! Hello there, that was a video glitch. Anyway, yeah, Neon Tiger's really simple, honestly. His X3 counterpart was much more annoying. Anyway, for beating him, we get something, I think it's called Rayclaw? Hey, sweet, I remember that. I think it's similar to Slashman's weapon from 7. Anyway, time for our final Maverick, Blast Hornet from Mega Man X3. Now, remember what I said earlier about Tunnel Rhino being a throw-up for being my least favorite stage in the game? This is the other contender. I hate this stage. For one reason only. Almost everywhere you go, there's a bottomless pit of death beneath you. The entire thing with this stage is that now these little bug jet things from the X3 opening stage are here. And you don't need to platform on them. It actually also kind of reminds me of the middle stage from Mega Man 02. However, in this case, it's a lot more annoying because I'm not as agile as I am in the Zero games, and there's just a lot of problems with that, because the hitboxes aren't quite so obvious. Anyway, you can fall down here to almost die, oh my. And also, get the final heart tank. We are now 100% on heart tanks and sub-tanks, which I should actually mention, by the way. Coughing, it's fun. One thing I actually forgot to mention last part when we got the 2 sub-tanks is that from this game onwards, in terms of the games I'll be seeing on the channel, until I think either X7 or 8, there are only 2 sub-tanks. Instead, we have the weapons tank and the X-tanks to suffice with the rest of those. I'm not sure why they decided to axe 2 of the sub-tanks, but they did. Oh well. Mind you, this was recorded. This game was made after X6 even, I believe, so... weird. Anyway, coming up here is where the Zero capsule is, but it's not going to be quite so obvious. You see, this section, which reminds me also a lot of Mega Man Zero's... Mega Man Zero 2's middle stage, actually. You do not kill all 3 of those turrets right there on screen. If you do, the floor will open, and you won't be able to come over here. Equip the Drill Crush, and you use it to break those blocks. Enter this capsule. I'll increase your defensive ability, and you'll receive less damage. So essentially, now Zero will take, I think, half damage. And that is amazing with him. So now X and Zero are at their most powerful, Buster parts aside. So yeah, this game's gonna get a lot easier now. That's why you don't want to destroy all 3 of those. If you destroy all 3 of them, I think you're screwed out of that for now. Anyway, here we have a bit of a rarity for the X series. Well, not the X series. A rarity for this game. A mini-boss. We got these 4 glowing orbs, which look right out of, Storm Owl's stage, actually. And you need to destroy the ones that glow red. 2 of them will always be red. It's just that you need to figure out which ones are red. Once you destroy 2 of them, though, it becomes really easy, because the same 2 will always be red. And I think that's the only mini-boss in the game. I could be forgetting something in the final stages, though. It's very likely, actually. Anyway, time for Blast Hornet. For future reference, he is weak against Overdrive Ostrich's weapon. Anyway, Blast Hornet is also a much more simplified boss than his original counterpart. He likes to shoot those 2 bees out, move across the screen, and do the same. The bees can come out in varying patterns. And he also has this Hornet charge attack where he likes to put out his stinger and try to stab you with it. If you just stick with the thing, though, it's really, really easy. But since he's a Zero boss, let's take him out with Zero. With the Zero Final! Ah! But yeah, that's all 8 Mavericks. And for beating Overdrive Ostrich, Blast Hornet, we get, I forget. I think it's called Earth Geyser, which is similar to the Rakuha from the PlayStation X games. Yep. Sweet. Well, that's all 8 Mavericks at least. Oh, hello, Gareth. Splendid. I'll be waiting for you in the Reploid Research Laboratory. You know where that is. I'll put an end to this soon. Hey, they spelled laboratory right this time, because in the intro cutscene, they spelled it lavatory, aka, you know, bathroom. But with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. But first, I should mention, I'm actually going to be grinding for DNA souls off-screen so I can get all the power-ups. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in part 2 when I have all those DNA souls, and then we're gonna challenge the final castle. See you guys then.